Sophia here. Welcome back to my Etsy shop, Frenchy and Tubby. I am here to showcase 7 new items which will be featured in my shop starting tomorrow, Friday, March, let me see, 4, 5, 6, I think, at 5 p.m. It's all a blur after a while. I'm enjoying my week off from filming and editing YouTube, but I said I was still going to do Etsy. So for today I have some beautiful, I mean, there's a few that are absolutely stunning, and I'm struggling, okay? I said I was not going to keep everything that I find to be stunning because I'm pretty much set at this point for the next 5 lifetimes when it comes to stuff, but okay. So let me start with the one in the thumbnail because this is quite unusual. This is the first time that I put a quilt up for sale. So the story goes that at my local church thrift store, there's a lady volunteer there who is a quilter. And she's quite frankly one of the only other quilter in my entire town. Not the only one who sews, but she's the only other quilter, well, that I know of. She's elderly, way past the 80s in terms of age, and over the years she's been decluttering and she's been putting up quilts, some of her work. And I grabbed this one, and before I even show it to you, I want you to know that if you don't know, if you've always admired quilts and you always wondered why they're so expensive, okay. It takes unbelievable amount of time to do a quilt. Any quilt that is a full size like this one will take anywhere between 90 to 150 hours to make. And that is if you do it at the machine. This lady's quilts are entirely hand stitched. There is no machine quilting. Everything is stitched, including the block patterns themselves. So it's not like she did the blocks with the machine and then she over quilted, you know, the whole quilt by hand. Everything is done by hand. This is a full-size quilt that she did in the 1970s, probably late 70s because it looks like 80s colors to me. It is super difficult to show it to you on camera, so I will insert pictures. But basically this pattern is called bear paws. So there's bear claws and bear paws in terms of the bear type blocks. And this one is all bear paws. Okay, so let me insert pictures so you can see it better because it's very difficult on camera, in particular in my little room. So she made it in the late 70s. And again, it's entirely hand stitched. And on some of the pictures, you can totally see the little stitching on the blocks. Let me see if I can show you some close-ups. The amount of work she put into this is unbelievable. Okay. Can you see the little stitching? Obviously, you can see the one that she did for the actual quilting. And it's a simple quilt, okay? This is not like super complicated. I mean, it's not a easy block. I can tell you that all of her points are there. She doesn't have a single one of them that's been cut off. And she's really good. And the colors are dark green, some kind of blue. I don't know how to refer to on this blue. A pink, and then beige or ivory, and then beige squares. And then the border is the same beige, pink, and that green, blue pattern. And then the back is this entire color. Now what she did, which I found to be interesting, is that, let me see how she did this. Yeah, the whole thing is done by hand. So she rolled her binding. It's done by hand. It's not overly quilted. I know a lot of people like me like quilts that are overly quilted. This one is very light in terms of the quilting. I washed it twice. It was not dirty, to be honest. The water came out, you know, normal. It has only two little damages that I have noticed, okay? The first one is a quilter's dream. If you buy old quilts, you like to repair them. It's an easy one to fix, but the problem is that now I gotta find it. She's got a piece of the binding that came undone, and it's nothing to fix. Right here. It came undone, okay? And it's cotton batting. Everything's cotton. It's just a matter of putting it back and sewing it. Why am I not doing it? Because I know quilters. You're gonna want to do it yourself. I know that, and it's easy. You just, if you're not a quilter, you just go like this, right? You roll it back, and then you just, it's 7 stitches, okay? That's it. And then there's a tiny hole. Oh, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. Let me put a picture of the tiny hole right here so you can see it. It's ridiculously small. It's another one that all you have to do, if you want to fix it, it's not on a seam, so it's not gonna get worse. All right, let me just put the picture of it because I'm not gonna find it. There's a couple of little stains that are like ridiculously small. I can't find the hole. That's how small it is, okay? Can't find it. Nope. Nope. I don't want to waste your time. I should have tagged it. I can't find it. But anyway, it's a full-size quilt. And it's really nice. It's really nice. It's light. It's light. It's fluffy. Again, it's not over quilted, and it's vintage. And it's entirely hand stitched. Don't be fooled. These quilts out there, they are machine made, and then they quilt them by hand, you know, in a crisscross pattern or whatever, and then they'll tell you handmade quilt. Now, well, handmade with the machine is still handmade. I suppose you could say that, but this is hand stitched, the whole thing. Everything is hand stitched. This lady is phenomenal. It's a gorgeous quilt. Okay, and it's a full size. It was difficult. I don't know when I'm gonna get to see a quilt again, but I think they're really cool. A lot of people are looking for vintage quilt, heirloom quilts to go in there. Farmhouse decor. This one is light. You can keep it by your TV. You know, when you watch TV, and just to cover yourself, you're not gonna like suffocate underneath it. Okay, that was the quilt. So that's item number 1. When I come back, crystal. So you know I love crystal, right? I have a story for this one too. I was at the thrift store in my area, and I spotted this vase. And at my thrift store, there's a shelf, like kind of like the shelves that I have behind me. And people, when they want to pick something but they're still browsing, will put their things on standby. And then at the end, they decide whether or not, you know what, maybe I won't take it. And so they either leave it there for the rest of the day, and the attendants put it back on the shelf, or they put it back on the shelf themselves. All right. So I saw this vase, immediately put it on the standby shelf. I'm browsing, looking at other things. Matter of fact, I was looking at a tablecloth, vintage tablecloth, as though I need another tablecloth and napkin match. But anyway, and then this lady come over, and I've seen her before, and I think she's a reseller. I really do, because she's constantly there. Whenever I'm there, she's there. Okay, and she's asking me. First, she starts by striking a conversation about the tablecloth. It's like, oh, it's very nice. I was like, yeah, you know. And so we talk a little bit, and then she says, well, are you the one who put the vase on the shelf over there? I'm like, what, the German vase? And she says, yeah. I'm like, yeah. She says, oh, I really like it. Are you really taking it? I'm like, yeah. And she says, well, I really like it. So I tell her something in the effect of, well, we both have good taste. All right. Anyway, she followed me throughout the entire store, the entire time I was there. As I'm at the cash register and she sees the vase is there, she makes a comment and she says, well, I guess you really are taking it. And I'm like, well, yeah, I told you I was. And she was very disappointed. Brilliant cut, German, Kisslinger, Rattenberg, 1960s. This is referred to as queen lace or pinwheel, depending. Different people call it different things. This is entirely hand cut. Let me give you a close up. I don't want to lose my light. It's about ready to fall. Okay, look at this thing. First of all, it's in perfect condition. I checked, okay? No chip, nothing. It is hand cut German crystal from the town of Rattenberg. The brand is Kisslinger, and it is what we refer to as brilliant cut, meaning that there's so many facets, just like a diamond. When you hit it with light or sunshine, you're gonna get thousands of rainbows. This vase is fabulous. And it still has the Kisslinger Rattenberg beer crystal sticker on it. It's from the 60s. It is, I'm not going to say you're going to cut yourself, okay? But this is how you can tell the difference between cut crystal versus pressed, okay? They are quite sharp, okay? These are quite sharp. You can tell that every single one is cut by hand. No wonder this lady was following me around and wanted this vase. It is quite a find. It's not very tall. It actually, it starts here. So you're gonna put water up to here or just about. It'd be perfect for, because it's a little bit tapered, tulips, daffodils, a small bouquet, obviously. Look at this thing. How could I pass this? I mean, seriously, how could I pass this vase? It's from the 60s. I want to keep it. Okay. I want to keep it. It's beautiful. Kisslinger, Rattenberg, Echt Blair Crystal. I can't read the thing at the bottom. It's got a nice ring to it too. God, you're fabulous. Whoever had it took very good care of it. I'm telling you, it's in perfect condition. It's like straight off the box. Oh, okay. My next crystal item, I already showed it to you in the past. It's part of that Mikasa Deco. Now the Mikasa Deco, it's that pattern, right, with the chair. And you see some of them at the store, but you see the smaller ones. This is the largest one they ever did. This is German crystal, brand is Mikasa. The design is called Deco, because clearly it's an Art Deco design. This is a solid piece of crystal. This thing is quite heavy. As a result, very stable. It's actually square, and the design, like I mentioned the last time when I was showing you the candle holders, is actually on the diagonal, right? Look at this thing. You're not gonna see the tall one a lot. If you go on Etsy and you look for Mikasa Deco, you're gonna see a lot of the 8.5 inches. You're gonna see some of the 9.5 inches, but I think actually that I'm the only one with the 12-inch. I've seen it in other, like shops, that resell vintage things at outrageous pricing, I'm just gonna say, okay? But it's a beautiful vase. It's very current still. It's from the 1980s. It was one of the most recognizable and iconic design, the Deco design. So the lady who purchased the 4 candlestick holders the last time, perhaps you want to get the vase to go with it. Though I think it went to Canada, didn't it? If it did go to Canada, I'm telling you right now, this thing is like £5. And it's beautiful. It's in gorgeous shape. The angles are smooth. There's no chip, no crack, no flea bite, nothing. It's like, again, straight out of the box. It's such a pretty vase. Now this is perfect for Easter lilies, calla lilies, any kind of lilies, because this is tall, narrow on the inside, so we'll take rigid stalks and canes, and then you can have the kind of flowers that fall. You can even do forsythia is coming up soon, about 3 weeks in my area, 3-4 weeks. You can do forsythia in it, or any kind of blooming branches. This gorgeous vase. Anyway, enough gushing over this vase. It is stunning. You don't need me to tell you that. Okay, when I come back, one more piece of crystal. Ooh, I saw this and I said, somebody's gonna want this. This is very different. Okay, so, you know, in the 80s with Poland and, what was his name? Lech Walesa? Solidarność movement. Once Poland opened up and got its independence from Russia, there was a lot of Polish brands that made it to the market. This is one of them. To be honest, I don't know who the brand is. All I can tell you is that it's made in Poland. What is this? This is a candy bowl. Okay, obviously an open candy bowl, crystal, some of the thinnest, not just finest, but thinnest crystal I've ever seen. It is so delicate. I almost feel like if you hold it wrong, the whole thing is going to just break on you. But what's very unusual about it, it's not just that it's a 3-footed bowl, so it makes it perfect for a credenza, a console, and it's not even the fact that it's etched all around. You can tell this is iridescent. Do you see? Look at that. It's got the rainbow on it. So depending on how the light hits it, it's either going to be purple or blue or green. Can you see the iridescence on it? I'm not sure if my camera is capturing it properly. It's having a hard time focusing because it's transparent and you can see me behind it. So it has etched flowers. You see the little made in Poland, okay? I don't think this thing weighs more than 8 ounces, if even that. It's amazing. It is so delicate. So delicate. And it's in gorgeous shape. There's no chip. I don't know how it made it. I absolutely do not know how it made it all these years, and the transport to the thrift store. Maybe you can, see? Now you can see. Isn't it nice? With that breaking, and I'm thinking, how on earth am I going to protect this in shipping? I'm gonna have to figure out something. So it has leaves and buds. I'm not sure what kind of buds. The abstract flowers, I guess. The feet have a little snail coil shape, and these are perfect. Easter's coming. Perfect for your Dove chocolates. Perfect for your Ferrero. chocolates, because it's big, but it's not humongous. So it's just the perfect shape and the perfect size for that. You can have a variety of candies, of wrapped chocolate in there, in different sizes, and you still have a generous amount. Some of those little candy dishes can be very small. This one is more on the medium to large size. I fell in love with this. The iridescence on it is beautiful. It's very nice. Okay, when I come back, porcelain. So there's a China company from Japan called Shafford, and they make bone china, and they were doing a lot of bone china for well, I'll say it, mass production. Okay, so you could find it at Macy's, you were able to find it at your Sears, all of those big department stores. You would find Shafford. They weren't super expensive, but they also weren't like super cheap either. They did a collection back in the 80s called Jade Lily, and it's one of the prettiest pattern I've ever seen. If you like floral, you're in for a treat. But wait, because these are a little bit different. These are what we've referred to as luncheon plate. I think they marketed it as a dessert plate with its matching cup. Here's the pattern. Beautiful tiger lilies or day lilies, florals, right? Gorgeous colors. So here's the matching cup, and it has a green rim with a little green accent on the handle, and the plate also has that green accent. And in the back it says Jade Lily Fine Porcelain by Shafford. It's good quality. It's not super fine. It's not like bone china. You're not going to see through or anything. It's everyday china. I have 1, 2, 3 plates and 3 cups. Luncheon set by Shafford. Jade Lily. I really like this. Imagine a patio with wicker furniture and you're looking for a snack. You have your 2 girlfriends over. There you go. Coffee and maybe a sandwich, or coffee and a piece of cake all together in one. This is very nice. Look at the close-ups in the pictures, okay? Shafford, Japan. It says fine porcelain. It's not paper thin. It's kind of like Mikasa porcelain, China. If you have some Mikasa at home, it's very similar. Or even the Lenox. It's a little bit heavier. Definitely heavier than what you would see in a Royal Doulton. Okay, so now the next one. We're in porcelain again. This is so romantic. This is a vintage vanity tray set by, I think it's called Stiffel or Stiffel. I think it's Stiffel from Austria. It's not labeled, but I did research and that's who made it. Obviously it was washed and the little sticker that says Stiffel is gone. This was made in the 70s. Let me show you the design. This is so elegant, so romantic. It's a vanity tray set. Now the original one also came with a picture frame and a clock. I don't have that. I have the tray, the trinket box, and the little vase. Look at this. Isn't it the cutest little thing? It's got a gold edging. And it's a vanity tray, so you put that on your dresser, or if you have a vanity, on your vanity. And it comes with a matching trinket box. Let me show you the little trinket box. So you can put your ring and your earrings in there and stay organized. It's so cute. See, there used to be a sticker right here, and you can see, but it's gone. And then it has a little vase to put a one single bloom. Look at this little thing. And it's the same, it's pretty much the same design. Matching design. This one looks a little bit different. It's painted the same. It's the same colors than this. It doesn't have the little bars that look like kind of Art Deco, but it's meant to be together because I've seen it online, or pieces online, and they have the same. So obviously they were meant to be together. So here you go. Austria, Stiffel, Austria, porcelain vanity tray set. Perfect for a young lady, or even for yourself if you're feeling like you want to have a little bit romance, or upgrade your vanity to something a little bit more vintage. There you go. And again, it used to come with a clock. I've seen the clock sold separately, and a picture frame. The picture frame was pretty big, so you would put the picture frame on the side, but you could have the clock on this. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's nice porcelain, quality porcelain from Austria. I personally love the tray. The tray is beautiful. Want to see that design again? Hold on. I don't want to break it. I'm really struggling not to keep that, but I want you to be happy. Look at this. See the design? So is this done by hand? Yes, this is all hand painted, and the gloss on it is unbelievable. The glaze, oof. So this is all hand painted from the 70s. Okay, Stiffel vanity tray. Okay, my last one. The folks on Patreon can tell you that I have struggled since I've obtained this to put in the shop instead of keeping it. Because one, I have never seen this pattern. It's Wedgewood. I've never seen this pattern before from Wedgewood. And two, I absolutely fell in love to the point that I am literally willing to go and buy more. But in order for me to not do that, I'm going to sell the teacup. This is Wedgewood Charnwood from the 1980s. It's a chinoiserie pattern with florals and butterflies. On the back of it, of course, it says Wedgewood, Charnwood, bone china, made in England. The teacup is amazing. So the teacup has this design here on both sides, right? One is some kind of leaves, and then the other one has the little bit dry, like fall, and then this one's got more green. Beautiful handle. It's a fruited teacup with gold accent. But wait until you see the inside of the teacup, because that's really what's beautiful about it. Look at this. I want it. I have no business getting another set of china. I am aware, but when I tell you I want this china, it is so beautiful. Gorgeous gloss. Look at the gloss on this. And to my surprise, I was just like, Wedgewood, it's gonna be worth a lot of money. Not at all. This is actually one of the more affordable patterns. Imagine that. Wedgewood, Charnwood. Isn't it fabulous? The details on it. The details. It's so beautiful. There's two butterflies. And the butterflies on the cup are not the same butterflies on the saucer. You see, they could have been lazy and used the same design, right? No, it's not. It's 4 different types of butterfly between the saucer and the cup. This is stunning. This is absolutely stunning. Now, if you remember, if you follow me on Instagram, you know what I said about teacups, right? It's supposed to be open at the top, restricted at the bottom, footed is better. The handle is supposed to be higher than the rim, okay? And the rim is supposed to be, what do you call it? Tapered out. So the reason why you do the rim this way is so that when you're an elegant lady and you go and drink your tea, you actually don't suck on the tea. You let the tea glide into your mouth. That way you don't. Okay. So that's the ideal shape for a teacup. A high handle, higher than the rim, very open and large on top, but restricted at the bottom with a flared, is that the word? I think it's flared. A flared rim, so that you can put your lip right here and the tea literally falls or glides into your mouth. The ideal teacup by Wedgewood, Charnwood. I want you. I cannot keep. Now, if I had found 4 or 5 or 6, I would have kept them. But just one, I would be miserable. I want somebody to have it. And it's not expensive. You'll be surprised. I thought Wedgewood, wow. It's one of the more affordable pattern, and it's discontinued. It's beautiful. I love it. Anyway, enough about me. So you all know that, of course, I would keep the Wedgewood, and I would absolutely keep this. I mean, all right, and I would definitely keep the vanity set. These were my items. Going to the shop Friday at 5 p.m. The link is down below for the shop or up here. I hope somebody buys the quilt. This lady put endless hours in this quilt, and it deserves to be given respect, treated properly, folded nicely, and in a good home. I can't stop touching it because I love quilts, you know that. Okay, so thank you for supporting my shop. I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.